Live your passion.
You can be anything you want. You can achieve it if you just believe. Take you to a place you can be your true self. Live your passion. Live your passion.
Aircraft technicians repair and perform scheduled maintenance on aircraft. They diagnose mechanical or electrical problems, repair wings, brakes, electrical systems, and replace defective parts. Meet West Air Aviation's Gabriela Kamaahene, an ambitious and energetic aircraft technician. This is her story.
You can be anything you want. You can achieve it if you just believe. Take you to a place you can be your true self. Live your passion. Live your passion, yeah.
Born and raised in Windhoek, Gabriela attended Emma Wiggenhout Primary, whereafter she completed her secondary education at the Windhoek High School, where she excelled in mathematics and physical science. Growing up in a family environment where granddad was a keen auto mechanic, her aunt a flight attendant, and her uncle an aircraft engineer, Gabriela cherished dreams of becoming a pilot.
Gabriela was hyperactive as a young girl, so we enrolled her for ballet classes just to calm her and just to make her a little bit feminine. And it paid off because for 2-3 years it went very well. And then she played soccer.
I wanted to become a pilot, so I applied for a bursary with NCAA, the Namibian Civil Aviation Authority. They did psychometric tests and all these aptitude tests and things like that, and they determined that this is the field best suited for my aptitude and as well as for my personality.
Gabriela's family agreed to the recommendation that she enroll at the Port Alfred 43 Air School in South Africa, a reputable flying training organization catering for the private, general commercial, airline and military sectors.
I was studying for about 3 years in South Africa, in Port Alfred by 43 Air School. And then I came back last year when I completed my studies, and then I started working here at West Aviation. When you go for your studies, you do 1 year of studies. That means sitting by a table and studying different knowledges, the basics, the intricates, different types of fluids and such forth. Then you have to do 18 months of practical, of which then you're allowed to go trade. So after you trade, in Namibia you have to wait 6 months after trade to get your first aircraft license, but then you have to work specifically on that type. So you gather a license every 6 months or dependent on how you write your subjects.
Aircraft technicians need to possess a good sense of visual awareness, a high level of attention to detail, and the ability to work under pressure. The go-getting and no-nonsense Gabriela ticks all the boxes.
You use the same equipment, spanners, sockets, side cutters, pliers, but for this one it's a little bit more different because you can change your engine or you can change an item on your car and it's fine. But for us, when we change an item on the aircraft, we actually have to get paperwork and we must prove that the aircraft or the engine that we're building in is serviceable, that it's correct, that it's fitting what has to be on the plane itself. It's a lot of other dynamics that come with it. It's about doing the right work and filling out the right paperwork.
Perfection is a must, because every time that you work on an aircraft, all the lives that will be flying with that aircraft is basically in your hands. You are the first step of safety. After that is also the pilot, but on the maintenance side, the safety there and the security of the lives that's flying with that aircraft is utmost importance.
Gabby doesn't take shortcuts. Everything is by the book. If you don't have your manual with you, you're not working with her. If you don't double check on everything that's done, it's a no-go item. In aviation, there's no room for error. You always have to be on point all the time.
Although still a relative newcomer to this dynamic trade, where best practice and safety standards continuously evolve, Gabriela embraces the importance of keeping her skill set relevant and appropriate.
You will study until the day you retire, because even when you do a course, if you have not done that course for a certain amount of time, you have to redo the course, because information changes. We live in a world where today something is correct, and then tomorrow you will hear that it is no longer accepted or it's no longer safe for use. So continuing or keeping up to date with the current information is a very important factor.
You can be anything you want. You can achieve it if you just believe. Take you to a place you can be your true self. Live your passion, yeah.
Aircraft technicians use precision instruments to measure wear and identify defects. They check for corrosion, distortion, and cracks in the aircraft's main body, wings, and tail. After completing all repairs, mechanics must test the equipment to ensure that it works properly.
There's a lot of pressures and a lot of stresses, because it's like with this engine installation behind me, when you install something incorrectly, then your engine is not going to run. So it is a very pressure and stressful job, because you need to at all times be considerate of what you're doing and work according to the book.
We have a dual check system in place. So say for instance you work on a job, what you will do is you'll call a senior and sometimes 2-3 other guys to come and dual check your job. So first of all, you yourself is getting into a habit of dual checking. So once you've done the job, you stand back, get an objective view of what you have done, check yourself, and then you call somebody else to come and do a dual check.
She goes by the book. As you know, this industry of ours, there is no substitute for quality. And at the same time, we upgrade here so that next time when she sees or other apprentices coming up, she's got the ability to have the leadership skills. Gabi can mingle with anyone, starting from the lowest person up to the directors. I can say in a nutshell, she's humble. She respects. If you do something that she doesn't feel like, she will speak out. And it's not like she keeps it in her heart. And she speaks up and then does it. And then we move on. And she doesn't keep grudges, of which our industry, you need to have a free mind. And I must say, congratulate her for having her license. Now she's now in the authority position to sign out her work and scrutinize other engineers.
Gabriela does not allow negative societal perceptions around the work she does in a male-dominated environment to bring her down. On the contrary, she embraces it as a challenge. In fact, it motivates her to always give her utmost to the job at hand.
I'm pretty sure back in the day it wasn't acceptable, but now it's normal. It's a craft of the trade. That's why we are a few ladies here on the airport that can do this job. I can do anything the guys can do. I can remove a prop, I can install the engine, I can do everything. I can do the same thing they can do. The only difference is the height and the size, because I'm quite small. I'm 1.5 meters, and then the next guy will be towering above me at maybe 1.7. I fit into places they don't, and they reach places I don't. So I think that's the only difference between me and the guys.
They've got more the softer touch, getting the male engineers a bit more in line. I must say Gabby is having a very positive personality, helping to get everybody else in a more positive mood. Sometimes the stress is high, sometimes the pressure is high, and even in that, to have a positive attitude helps in production. So, and that's why we like the female touch on the floor, also for some of the stuff that we want a bit more perfection in. We get Gabby involved there. She's now one of our qualified engineers. She's got a license on some of our aircraft. She's really a good asset for the company and as well as for the engineering side.
She has chosen the right career because it is a motivation for all the other young females that in a previously only male domain or industry, that women can also join that industry. At the age of 25, she is licensed, so she is having 3 licenses. So we are aiming for 3 more still this year, and the big one will be the Embraer next year.
You can be anything you want. You can achieve it if you just believe. Take you to a place you can be your true self. Live your passion, yeah.
With more international airlines adding Namibia to their routes and with plans to expand the international airport, the local aviation industry is set for growth and more employment opportunity for aircraft technicians are sure to arise.
It's still a growing market. It's growing more to bigger aircraft. Wester has grown from small aircraft fleet of say 10, where we've got now a fleet of 40, involving big aircraft like 55-seaters Embraers. It is really growing, especially in Namibia, and we need that expertise also. So there's definitely a possibility in that qualification field. It must be a person that's have a tendency to perfectionism, a person that's driven. Also, it must be a person that's capable to work with his hands and think technically. That's all good qualities that's harvested in this field. For me, it satisfies me when I stand back. Say for instance, we buy an aircraft that's in tatters, we rebuild it and you stand back and you see, well, this is my handwork that's pushed out the door and there it's flying.
I don't have a degree or diploma, but I'm in a successful career doing a very important job, and that sometimes university is not the only way to have a career, because a lot of the people that work with me, I'm sure none of them have ever even stepped inside a university, and they are here and they're doing their job successfully. So if they say you can't do it, look into other trades. There's more to life than just going to a university.
Gabriela Kamaahene, courageous, assertive and spirited. A true champion for women in a cutthroat, male-dominated environment. Her story inspires us to recognize the powerful potential of the girl child and to have the courage to direct their potential towards good ends. She is living her dream. She is living her passion. Live Your Passion is supported by the European Union.